Hello everyone, welcome back to the Stuart Wilde Infinite Self 33 Steps series. Here we are with our second part, which is actually getting to our first principle. So a little confusing since most of our series where we have 101 ways to transform your life, we actually just have 101, but we had to do the intro. So anyway, here we are with principle 1 in the second part. So this first principle he calls I am God. Okay, now this is actually a little more common than you might think of in the self-help field, because if you look to some of the works of Dr. Wayne Dyer, he references books like, say, 3 Magic Words of Being I Am God. There's some other great materials. If you've ever seen the YouTube channel You Are Creators, has some fantastic kind of material on this kind of thing. Now, I don't think that the way to really interpret this is literally. I mean, if you literally want to see yourself as God, you can try to interpret yourself in that light, but it's not really what the main concept is here. The idea Stuart Wilde's really presenting is that you bring your power in by empowering yourself. That's self-explanatory. You empower yourself by putting the power of God within you. So you're taking, this external idea of, life, the universe, God, whatever, and you're putting it inside your own control, basically. And so this is kind of the idea. And he's trying to get us to accept infinity is another big part of this. That what we're doing is we're trying to get infinity, as not only a concept, but as a feeling. As we all know from basic kind of math, you can have this, infinity is, way out in the distance, or, we can interpret it as infinity is this, kind of thing that can never be reached, all that kind of stuff. Add up every grain of sand in the world, and no matter how big your number, it's never infinite. Infinity is just a concept. So what he wants us to do now, though, is get infinity as a feeling, okay, to really internalize our feeling of infinity. And I think that makes a lot of sense in terms of what does it feel like to be infinite, to have infinite possibilities. I mean, this is the infinite help, this is the infinite self series after all. So obviously it's going to be about the self being infinite. So take the power of, your God within you, be it a religious power, be it just, your idea of the universe. Basically what you're doing is you're trying to experience things from kind of an overall view, because what he's trying to get us to do is detach from even what he mentions in this one, perfectionism. Now he talks a lot about perfectionism later on, and some of his work is what really got me onto the path of getting rid of my perfectionism, which was a huge kind of factor in transforming a lot of my life. And I think this series can really be used to get rid of a lot of perfectionism. And perfectionism really exists because the ego constantly keeps saying, okay, it has to turn out this exact way, okay? It has to have this certain outcome. It's like him spinning the roulette wheel, putting all his money on 33 black, saying it's going to be 33 black, 33 black, 33 black. And he's just repeating that over and over and over again. And he's saying it has to win every time, okay? This wheel has to just come around and it's going to win and I'm going to make a fortune. But the thing is, probability is completely against the coming up 33 black every time. And thus, it's not about to just do that. So that's really the problem of perfectionism, as he talks about previously in the introduction. There was a whole concept of when you're sitting there and you're saying, oh, I want a pain-free existence, and then you walk along, you fall off the sidewalk and break your ankle. That's really breaking your pain-free existence. And what he's trying to do here with the whole concept, at least in my interpretation, is to zoom out for a minute. Just say, what if we look at this from the overall perspective, the all-seeing eye, our God force, whatever. What if we look at that from this big perspective? If we're infinite, if all these things are infinite, then every circumstance is also infinite, okay? Things will go on forever and ever. There will never be a point when things are just, horrible. Everything is not just this experience of it has to be, has to be, has to be. We can accept everything. And he even goes into the story of how if you have 81 people in your life that are all horrible and all negative, he says, interpret this as, instead of thinking they're all negative, this is all horrible, say thank you to the universe, or thank you to God, or thank you to the subconscious mind, or whatever you're, contributing to your God force within that he's really talking about here. And if you say thank you for it, really you're also programming your subconscious mind to be more grateful to you, be more helpful, be more energetic, and to transmute some of your negative, thought patterns into more positive ones. And so overall, I think this video is not this video, the, I just keep messing up a little bit today, but whatever. Then this part, really, I think the big concept of I am God is not to accept that there's a literal God or, this kind of thing to take into yourself, but really it's taking back your power. If you need to say it's the God force to do that, do that. If you're just going to say it's the subconscious mind, it's the subconscious mind. Whatever you're going to do, whatever power you want to call it, internalize it. And when you do that, it can massively transform your life because it gives you the power to see perspectives, to see that throughout your life, it doesn't all have to go just this egoic way. You can let go of that kind of concept and allow yourself to kind of be able to move through life. Because perfectionism constantly sells us on this idea that everything has to go perfectly. It has to come up 33 black every time. Versus desire is a better and more powerful force that will actually get us there, okay? It's just perfectionism draws us out a map that looks really good. The thing is, though, it's a map that we can't follow. It's an impossible set of tasks. Suddenly you think you're going to do it perfectly, and then it gives you like 80 things to do, and you can't do all 80. Even if you do 79, it's like, no, you failed. But desire will never fail you. Desire will always try to lead you to where you're going to go, and it's always going to try to help you out. So follow desire, follow this path of accepting infinity into yourself. And if you can't really do this like concept of infinity, talks about like going and walking in the woods every morning as a discipline. And that when you discipline your mind, you can better see it. Now, I think that Stuart Wilde's done a lot more work on this kind of stuff than I have, and, but I also think he has some interesting beliefs, not necessarily ones I agree with, not ones I can say I completely disagree with, but I think he has a lot of useful material, and then at the very least, if we're going to be extremely scientific about it, we can take a lot of things metaphorically, and it can be really useful for us programming our subconscious mind to be happier, to be more loving. So basically, the first principle is I am God. Take the force of God within you, take the power of, what you think of the external world, take basically your luck factor and put it inside you and say, you know what, I can win. Everything will work out. And really, it's just a method of positive affirmation. It's going to get yourself feeling like a winner, having your subconscious mind make you a winner because you've got God on your side. I mean, if you have God on your side, how can you lose? So when you internalize that, you're giving yourself all the power in the universe. And when the subconscious mind does that, oh boy, is it going to get you some really good help and some really positive thoughts. Anyway, that's about it for the second part. So there's our first principle, I am God. I'm Walt. I'll see you guys next time with our third video and second principle. So see you then, stay tuned, and yeah, see you then.